Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Moin.
Oh, it's great. It's about Turbo Kid.
Hello, everybody. That's
About you.
Jerry talking about Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid.
Who's seen Turbo Kid? In the chat.
Raise your hands who has seen Turbo Kid.
Kid.
Kid? Kid. Hello,
Cats
James.
are different.
Demons. Rumbly 8, Subroger, Manda, Ewok Kebab, Dutch Orinoko. Jabba Scott's Crispin. Hello.
Oh my God. You people are
No,
the
Jerry
worst.
didn't get the part. The power hair is gone.
So, yeah, Turbo Kid is a low-budget action film that's done in a 80s 80s style schlocky video.
So,
it's set in a post-apocalyptic future where this kid reads comic books about the Turbo Riders, who are like, you know, arse-kicking BMX bandits who would go around and, you know, solve all the problems. And then one day he stumbles across a dead one, gets all his kit, puts it on, and starts, you know, saving the world one kickflip at a time, type of thing.
that's a interesting.
It's Red Letter Media. Give it a fantastic recommendation. In fact, I know all of the fucking film. I was like, I really should have. Whenever they went spoilers, if you're planning on watching this, I just go, nah, go on ahead and tell me. I'll watch it anyway later. So I got around to downloading it last year, and I just realized it's sitting there, and I still haven't watched it yet. No, not like Kung Fury. It's actually got a budget, and is more than 22 minutes long.
Burn.
So.
I was going to make the comparison about the Incredible Hulk with Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, that'd be great. Now, to be fair, Jam, Luke Littler is a midlife crisis, but that's because he's 16 years old. It's double 16, or possibly even treble 16. So he's been that 16 multiple times.
Multiple times 60. Yeah.
Multiple times.
I've got a new toy. Let's look at it. How tiny.
Yes, very
Is
much
it
so.
Electric drill.
I think it might be Canadian. Yeah. Canadian and New Zealand co-production.
No, Crispin.
Containing amazing people.
Hey, listen, how silent.
It's fucking not sound at all. It's like being called on Skype. Stars Munro Chambers, Lawrence LeBoeuf, Edwin Wright, Aaron Jeffrey, and Michael Ironside. Yes, that Michael Ironside as the only name in it.
The LaBouffe is related to the other one, to the Shire.
Oh God, I hope not. When you were saying related, I assumed you were going to say he's related to the character from the Crusades from the Walter Scott book Ivanhoe. Frank LeBoeuf. Frank LeBoeuf.
Also, speaking of Crusades, my wife and I are currently watching a very odd Netflix series called Nightfall.
Oh Jesus, is that the one with Luke Skywalker in it?
Yep.
Yeah. I couldn't get past the first, I'm going to say 15 minutes of that, and I really wanted to because Luke Skywalker was in it. But it's whenever they were using the shiny red ruby with the engraving to fucking beam a. I'm just going, no, I'm out. This is reached Connery levels of terribleness.
If you want to see a real good acting Mark Hamill as a grumpy old Knights Templar instructor, just straight jump to the second season. He's not in the season 1. He appears in season 2 and he's brilliant. He's like a mixture of Luke Skywalker, Yoda, and grumpy old bum from the street.
All right, so sequel Luke Skywalker then.
Yeah, pretty much, but even more grumpy.
Even grumpier.
Yeah. Even the
Oh,
same hairstyle and beard, so it's just
I think he was doing it in between because I dimly remember it coming out, and I also remember hating the first season and going, but the second one's got look in it, so I'll give that one a go. And it was like, no, I can't do this.
the weird thing is normally I can spot actors I've known well the instant they show up on screen. He's really good at mask in this one because he has a large scar on the right of his face, and it really takes some time to. Is he? Is he not?
Did anybody check in case he'd been out on his motorbike again?
He was trying to ride horses in the series. That's the problem.
Oh dear. I mean, that's another way you're going to have to explain a Wampa attack in the fucking Crusades.
Yeah, but it's a really nice little appearance over, I think,
Touch.
the first
He was in
4 episodes.
RoboCop. Hang on a second. I'm fairly certain Michael Ironside was not in RoboCop. The guy who plays Red was in RoboCop from that 70s show. Michael Ironside was in V. He was in Starship Troopers. He's been in countless things. He was even in the second Highlander film that we don't talk about. But I'm positive he wasn't in RoboCop.
Yeah.
He's in Total Recall. There's so many things you could have picked, and you picked the one he wasn't in. It's outrageous. Dutch.
Let's see.
I
Michael
mean,
Ironside.
let's see. Why'd you have to look for Michael? Everybody knows who Michael Ironside is.
Yeah, I know.
He's that guy.
Total Recall, Highlander.
2. The one we don't talk about.
Neon City, Free Willy. That's a step.
Never seen Free Willy.
You haven't?
No. But
Oh,
I'm fairly
God.
certain the giant killer whale is dead now. The one who played Willy. And I think he died in some sort of terrible way, like they put him in a bathtub in America for people to poke with sticks or something. It was one of those type of things.
Potentially.
Anyway, as I was saying, Turbo Kid, a 1980s style action movie set in the post-apocalyptic far-off future of 1997. Because all post-apocalyptic movies from the 80s were all set,
around
in
the 2000s, yeah.
97, 98. We never managed to make it unscathed to the 2000s.
And why shouldn't we?
Free Willy Thornton. That would have been good. I would have watched that. Oh, good times. Anyway, so yeah.
Speaking of odd stuff, I think we start with a mistake.
Could be.
At least somebody's talking about me making mistakes, but
Yep.
I can't see them.
Is this your segue to get me to stop talking about Turbo Kid?
Yes.
Right. Let me know how that works out for you.
I think
So anyway, I've got
badly.
the synopsis here from Wikipedia.
Oh no. Synopsis.
Michael Ironside plays a tyrannical overlord named Zeus.
Well, that's a very creative name, is it?
Mm.
Alfonso the Traitor. Why is he making mistakes? Because he's basing miniatures raw.
Yes, he is. And then he's compounding his mistake by making another mistake. I'd like to call this the Warren mistake, or the Warren fallacy, where you think by basing things on massive fucking round bases, you'll be able to play more games, and all it does is restrict the games you can play. So he has been basing his stuff in 10-man units, 2 ranks of 5, and discovered that some other games he wants to play require them to be in smaller sizes, smaller little grouplets. So he's decided I'd be better off basing everything on 25mm rounds and using less men on bigger things. No, God no. How many times do I have to say no? 20mm squares. If they're all on 20mm squares, you can still have your bigger bases for spotting if you want, but they'll work for everything. They'll even work for skirmish games. For some skirmish games, they work better because you actually have a clear delineated back for people to stab you in. Stab you in.
Step. Yeah, as James says, do some extra for skirmish games and
20 mil was good enough for the War Games Research Group when they were working out what a yard of space for a man to stand in was back in the early 70s. It's good enough for them. It's good enough for every game in between. Now all of a sudden people want to put things on like 37 mil rounds and shit. This needs to be stopped, and I have to stop it. One insult at a time. It's also down to female samurai.
yeah, I'm very pleased at seeing such an intricate conversion.
I got around that by just ordering a whole army of female samurai that are in this box. No, that's a Cronopia demo set. That's not been released yet. No, that's Westphalia. No, that's more Westphalia. There it is. There's my female samurai army. Bosh.
Is it painted?
Is it? Fuck. I only just got it before Christmas. I've not even got around to building all the tiny fighting men's from the previous army that I bought. So once they're all done and out of the way, I'll be able to play my Clash of Katanas. Let's put all the Westphalia back and that Cronopia set that nobody else has. Although I really would like them to fulfill that Kickstarter because I backed that as well. That's the Germans for you. Efficiency goes out the window when they've got my money.
But why should we be efficient if we already have your money?
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
There's
Right
no
there.
incentive to be more efficient if the money is already there.
Yeah, we see how this goes now, don't we, kids? See how this goes now. But yeah, it's nice to see the samurai continuing after clearing his shelves by sending all to Lloyd. And by all, I mean like 2 clans. As we've seen
John's
previously in his
coming along for his samurai.
John has done something. Well, you've probably seen it on the XLBS because he's been off, so he hasn't touched any of that. He based all the samurai that he printed out, and he also got the dragon that we looked at in one of the weekenders. And I was going, oh yeah, just take that in 75mm, you're fucking landed. So he's got most of his army sort of printed and then based. Not primed yet, not painted, but I think he's going to do that. I'll paint the bits I can see when they're all multi-based, which is the worst. It's a mistake you only make once, and I'm more than prepared to let him make it. However, he's off on holidays this week, and it's all sitting in the studio, so no further forward on that one.
Welcome, Jill. You were watching Shogun. Thematically fitting for the first project of the day.
Christmas this year. Thank you very much.
John tricked me into watching a video on 3D printing.
Oh, man. Why would you do that?
It was a bit of a, what you call it, clickbaity thing.
Was it? I don't know.
A bit. Just a bit.
I get around that by not. How many samurai have you got, DD? Because then we can tell you what to do with them. We talking huge bundles of them?
Were
tiny
bricks
little amounts
harmed in the filming of John's video? I don't know. Maybe.
John? Oh, that's right. They did 3D printing when I wasn't here. Oh, yeah. Best way. I don't mind. It all happens far away.
And Justin did an unboxing.
Yes.
Of interesting terrain pieces.
Could be, if you say so. I feel like there was a subtle slight at me when it was like a 4-minute video. Something about it doesn't show off the box, to the best of its capabilities. I showed the sprues. I showed the guy that built some. I don't really know what else you could do on an unboxing video. I'm thinking my last one that went out, I think, is like 20-minute long fucking War Games Atlantic skeletons. Where I go, you could do this, you could do that. You can cut them in half and make fucking infantry, heavy armored infantry. This is amazing. It's the best box ever. And I go and have a moment to myself. Dick in a box. Also that, Crispin. Also that.
Yeah, the video was
Quick.
yeah, let's call it quick. That's
Quick,
the
brief. I filmed. Oh, I can't remember what it
But
was.
to be fair, it's two different sprues with square pieces on them, and yeah, we all know how Lego works. So
There was a. I'm going to say it might have been the new 2-player starter set for Dystopian War, and I did like a 20-minute thing to be cut into the Weekender. I think it was. And then when they were editing it, they noticed on one of the close cams, if I moved, my head was in the way. So Justin refilmed it. That 20-minute unboxing went to, I think, like another 5-minute job again. It's just like, okay.
why not leave
Could have
it?
just could have just shot new B-roll of the bits that I blocked, and just
Yeah.
and cut that in.
Or put a picture on top of your head just for funsies.
That's good times. It amuses me.
Well,
To be fair, we need to do that with Warren, just otherwise we can't render stuff out.
sometimes I imagine you just leave all your PCs while Warren is rambling along. Half an hour later, you all come back to the PCs. Is he still talking? Yeah, he's still talking.
It's all still images or loops, like in Speed, or the bus that can't slow down.
And an emergency button just recycling the last 2 minutes that were recorded.
Oh, there's a shock.
Who's shocking?
Oh, City are cheating again.
Oh, okay.
And Anthony Taylor, the absolute shittest of all the referees, says play on. Anyway. Right, Defective Dice, I know you're in here. I know you heard me. We'll move on. You can tell us how many samurai you have.
Yeah, and this is also somebody who's cheating by being way too productive. I feel that's illegal.
Productive. With my reputation. Rumbling away. Day 26. 2 days left. Presumably there hasn't been an update for today yet. Oh, hang on. I'll hit F5. Just in case there is.
No, I don't think so.
Still painting that.
Hello, Mr. Rumd.
So, obviously we were here right at the very start of February as the Boss War February Painting Challenge has been progressing at pace. And Rumbly's been painting up his coils as the Vengeful Wolves. Something like that. I can't remember. But it's a blue-grey with a purple rather than black with sort of red accents. So the most recent being this massive behemoth conspiracy. Sometimes he's a massive thing. Sometimes he pretends to be a gun tower in the middle of the table. Which means you can put gun towers on the table and people give them a wide berth in case it turns into a giant robot and starts kicking them in the face.
I have to say, this is the first time I've seen that kit without the head, and I'm actually liking it more without the head.
I love the head. It's like a samurai head. It's like one of those big wicker basket.
The head itself is neat, but somehow the machine now looks better.
Oh, man, you're the worst. Absolute worst.
I do my very best.
50 samurai plus some mounted and some ashigaru. Oh, fancy. So you're not looking for a mass battle game. So there's plenty about. I love Clash of Katanas, but to play Clash of Katanas, you also need to buy Clash of Spears because the main rules are in Clash of Spears and Clash of Katanas does other things. And if it's not going to be your main game, they're tricky. Well, they're not tricky to get. Well, I don't. Your mileage may vary because the guys are in America, so it might be actually easy to get them from them. But it's a really nice skirmish system where you're going to be playing with 40, maybe 50 models tops, small units, sort of 4 to 10, running about. There's good command and control and fatigue system in it. I do like Ronin, which is escaping me up there somewhere, which is one of the Osprey Blue Books for just skirmish war game. in feudal Japan, so it actually goes into slightly later period. You can actually run out your samurai with guns, and not just teppu, but actual proper. We've bought guns from Westerners, and our ability to kill from afar is fucking amazing. And it's a nice little system by Craig Woodfield, which doesn't get enough of a run, I don't think. And if your samurai are just there to play, and it's not going to be a major game for you, but you just want something that you can grab and have a whiz at, I really like that because it's cheap to pick up. You can pick it up on PDF, and you don't need a huge amount of extra stuff. Test of Honor, I hear good things about, but Test of Honor, you need weird basing. Things are based on like threes, and then they have cards and special dice, and it's more of a complete little microcosm of a game system where everything feeds into itself. So it's not like you can just grab a handful of miniatures from somewhere and a handful of dice and start playing. You've got to get all the other whiz bangs and stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it is, but if you're not just buying stuff for Test of Honor, if you're going, I've already got X number of miniatures, then you're going to have to sort of grab shit from here, there, everywhere.
Thanks for the sub, by the way, James. Why does this one remind me of Cobra Commander?
Why does he remind you of Cobra Commander? Because he's got that weird helmet, although he's a bit more Darth Vader-like to my eyes, but it's a helmet and no face. I love Clash. I love Clash to bits. I got invited. The guys were actually in Spain for a Clash tournament that was being run for the second year, and Francisco and Alvaro invited me. They're going, do you want to come over? You could do like some videos and interview people and blah, blah, blah. We'll pay for your flights and all. You just come over. I'm going, it sounds amazing. When is it? And they went, it's like this weekend past. I'm going, oh, no, I can't because it's my mother's birthday. And I don't think she'll make it to another one. So she'd probably be here for this one. But I was gutted. But yeah. But anyway, so those would be my picks for samurai things. Samurai games. I love this. I love this project. Actually, to be fair, I've been digging all the Bot War stuff that's been going through the Bot War painting challenge, because there's been some NATO
the
stuff.
page group is a nice deterrent from everyday things.
Barely get her up and down the stairs, Dave. Never mind onto a plane and off to fucking Malaga or wherever it was being played. I don't think it was Malaga. Somewhere in the very south of fucking Spain. That would have burnt me to a crisp.
Oh, that's a... Why am I thinking Thunderbirds?
Because it's got a cargo compartment to drop on people. As it's only right and proper. It's probably filled with tiny little men's.
No, tiny little men.
The worst kind of men's. Tiny little ones.
Those are horrible. They get under your feet when you're a big stompy robot.
Yep.
And the cleaning is very expensive after that.
You just hose them off. It's fine. It's like jumpers. You don't have to worry about burying them. You can just hose them off the pavement into the drains.
There has been there was a game on the C64 which was banned in Germany called Teacher Buster.
Right.
Basically, a very, very crude game where you drove around in a tank killing teachers with either flamethrower, machine gun, or big gun, or you could just run them over. But if you run people over, you needed to pay cleaning fees after each level for your tracks.
There was a whole host of those, to be fair. There was Going Postal.
Oh, that's not on the C64.
No, it was on the Spectrum. It allowed you to just drive over people as you lost your shit.
So it's basically Falling Down, the movie adaptation.
That type of thing. Florida School Simulator. That'd be good. See, they've started locking up parents of school shooters in America.
What?
Yeah, first one. They were trying both the parents individually for some reason. So mum's got found guilty yesterday. Dad's not due up in court to hear his case until the end of March. But I imagine since mum's being banged up, he'll get banged up as well. So they could be doing anywhere to sort of, up to 15 years. It's maybe a 5-year minimum, could be longer, could be a 10-year minimum.
Because
It's good
their
times.
child is running around killing people, they get...
Yep.
What?
Apparently little kidlet was a bit of a mentalist, and they didn't bother paying any attention to the fact he was a mentalist. They'd be too busy off running their ponies around, and then they bought him a gun a couple of days before the school shooting. It's like, yeah, you want a gun? Okay, slightly mental son, have a gun. Bye.
Just
Enjoy
don't do
school.
anything bad with it. Yeah.
Don't take it out of the gun safe in my room where I keep all the guns locked away with the code, and I shit you not, because when police went in, they discovered that the gun safe was locked with 000 as the combination. So, How to Be a Complete Bastard was an amazing game on the Specky. It was a Rick Meal-esque thing. He was class. And there was also a game where you were a bully. It might just have been called Bully. You had to go around and... How to Be a Complete Bastard. Was that the one where you had to put like stink bombs in people's desks and smash the next door, find a catapult and smash people's windows and things? Ah, it was amazing.
Games back in the day were definitely made different.
School Days. That was the one with the stink bombs and stuff.
Oh,
Yes.
I remember the name. I can't remember the gameplay. Maybe I never played because I was too young and couldn't read and understand English at the time.
To be fair, some of them were borderline incomprehensible, even if you could. You had to
Have you
sit there
ever
and think,
tried
how
playing
the fuck do you play this?
Have you ever tried playing a text adventure in a language you don't understand? That's how I found out about the GRU.
It's fair enough. To be fair, and I've mentioned this before, it wasn't a text-based adventure, but it was based on Nightmare, the TV series. Do 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 do. I got that on the Spectrum, and I couldn't get out of the first 2 rooms. And I thought maybe it's because I was a kid and I wasn't doing something that was really obvious. So I went and found it on an emulator a couple of months ago, after being reminded about it, and I still can't get out of those 2 fucking rooms. I have not got a fucking clue what you're supposed to do to get the fuck out of those rooms.
Yeah,
It is
moon logic
absolutely
puzzles are
baffling.
a thing.
Oh, I mean,
Hello, Taurus. I mean, that's basically me trying to get into the Maniac Mansion, and I'm totally lost without the walkthrough. Who would think that there's a key beneath the doormat?
well, it makes perfect sense. That's where we keep our keys. I have a question for Rumbly. Is this year harder than previous years because there's an extra day in February? Just throw that one in there.
Or is it easier because he's got a day extra?
Well, no, because you have to paint every day. So it's not about it's not about completing stuff, but you have to paint something every day. So all it does is it just adds an extra 24 hours of painting to be done.
Well, people have been taking days off, as I've seen, so...
Yeah, but they're only allowed so many of those unless they start trading them between them.
How does that work?
Somebody was going to have to drop out because I've no more skip days left. And somebody else went, well, you can have one of mine. It's just turned into some sort of... It's like cigarettes in fucking jail.
My comparison that sprang to mind was the one with the sick days where teachers gave another teacher their sick days in the US.
Good, because they had the teacher had cancer and had used all of theirs because they had cancer.
And they needed to go back to work.
It's it's an amazing country.
It keeps on giving.
I mean, if you get cancer, you're better off just walking into the ocean, aren't you?
Potentially, yeah. Especially if that's how patients are treated. It's a nightmare.
Patients have got down. Well, hey,
Yay!
booyakasha.
So, Mac and Andrea miniatures.
Yes.
This isn't a gaming piece, is it?
No, that's a 75 mil. Andrea mostly do big miniatures, but there are some smaller ones kicking around. Pardon me. This is a
Hello, friends of General Haig.
child minding expert, Dr. Spock.
Come! Oh no, that's his friend going on the bridge.
Yep. Well, he's got that signature look of superiority where he's just explaining what the Defiance access code is, because he was more or less standing like that when he did it. And
He's always
unless he's
standing
changed
like
it,
that.
he is very smart.
He's also very dead. Ow, bloody hell. Fuck. Why keeps
Why are you pressing all of
this
these? What's
site
going on?
logging
What have
me
you-
out in the
Oh,
middle of
no.
a stream?
Oh my god. By Crabthar's hammer.
No savings to be had.
Oh, somebody's asked, how am I? At 3 a.m. on a Thursday. I'm fairly certain I wasn't online at 3 a.m. on a Thursday. So
Well, maybe it was the Monday morning.
let's not worry about whoever they are. That won't go. Why will that not go away? Okay, right. Twitch, you're absolute balls. Anyway, getting back to Mac. I do like the Dr. Spock. It's quite good.
Yeah,
I like the tiny little enterprise behind it.
and especially the effort he went through in painting the call sign on it.
Yep.
Oh, tiny,
But it's
tiny
some of the other
thing.
pieces that you'll see further down. So these are 32 mil from their fantasy range. So wargaming scale, if you will. And I absolutely fucking adore these.
These remind me of the stuff that Aladdin was selling at Tactica last week. Sadly, they're closing shop.
Yeah.
I asked him why they are closing shop. I quote, My casting dude has gotten a proper job.
Harsh. Very harsh.
Yeah, but that's just one reason. The other reason is that his sales of greebly bits, so treasures and boxes and barrels,
Yeah.
stuff you need for your terrain, has plummeted since the ones and zeros are starting to take over.
Harsh. Very harsh. I should go and have a look because they had some really nice resin buildings.
Yeah, they're almost out of most things, so if you
Yeah.
want something, you might be better off looking now than later.
I am. Don't worry. There's Sean Connery. Oh no, the other one. Sean Bean. That's the one. Bastard. Him.
Bastard!
Love that. Mr. Black Crew.
Oh, fuck.
A bit more static than the other. He's got an amazing soul patch. And Errol Flynn, like little cheeky tash on him there.
Yeah, reminds me pretty much of those sword and dagger movies from the 60s. Looking way too well groomed and combed than to be a barbarian.
You're listening to Roman propaganda there. Have to remember when the Vikings landed in England, a lot of the Anglo-Saxons complained that their wives were being led astray by these Vikings who washed and groomed themselves and combed their hair.
Yeah, I've
So,
read that part. That's
you know,
hilarious.
barbarism's all good. Bellathor, the guy above, though, I really like that. For a couple of reasons. One, it's the reason I possibly spent more time looking at what Andrea was doing in 32mm, because I knew they did large scale stuff for a long time. But I was looking for a Lich King from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I was going to say he reminds me an awful lot like of that
Oh,
character.
he's 100% based on Arthas. Anywhere you went on the internet, if you went, I need a 28mm Lich King, they just went, yeah, just go to Andrea. They did another one where he's mounted on a massive fuck off dragon as well, which is absolutely gorgeous. The 54mm one that they did was stunning, but Mac stuff is absolutely spot on. He's
going to reload these.
He's a cheeky little bunkie, that young Mac Jalore.
Yeah, very talented indeed.
I don't think he actually uses any of these to play Jam. He just these are all displays, hence all the massive plinthage, which just a shame Lloyd's not around.
There needs to be a plinth collection just for Lloyd to look at the next weekend.
Just for Lloyd.
We are just giving away golden buttons on the account of plinths.
Oh, that would be really annoying for him, wouldn't it?
Somebody do a project with a miniature shed that is dry.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him about his shed in a while.
Well, the weekend was, it's not.
Oh, it's not. Oh, what a terrible shame. Is there drainage
dry.
issues?
Yeah, the shed floor pictures were interesting, to say the least.
Oh, he showed pictures. I really need to go watch it.
Yeah, he showed pictures, and I think it was John who asked, is the floor still wet? Is that a wet patch? And no, it's obviously just the way the concrete was poured by the contractor. Which is alarming, because usually concrete poured by professionals is a homogeneous, unified looking surface.
Depends on how good the contractor is. Yeah, we were just in here kicking the tires on your project since you decided to upload good old Spocular there
from
It's nice. It's nice to see him back. And nice to see more going into that project as well, because it's.
When he showed the picture where he had 3 electric radiators sitting in that shed going full bore to get the dryness into the... Ow! He's burning money at that point.
Don't worry. Spring will be here soon, which means slightly warmer rain. And who knows?
I think he said it was something about 78% humidity, so that's wet.
Oh, that's not a good thing.
Nope.
That's not a good thing.
When moisture is running down the sides of your walls, you have a problem.
Oh dear, that's not good. It's redirected me somewhere far away from where I wanted to be. Cheaper for you to fly over, dig it up and pour it again. Yep. That is pretty much how that one goes.
But let's not pile on the contractor too much, because if I remember correctly, Lloyd did some weird PVA water mixture dumping and potentially not really reading the instructions or doing it by the book.
I don't know. Well, he had to seal it. You have to seal all concrete. Although last time I had to seal concrete, I used a specific concrete sealer.
Yeah, so. That's what I was thinking.
but at worst, PVA should not harm concrete. I mean, it's easy enough to feed the children. It's so inert. So even if all he'd done was pour it on, all he's got to do then is sit back and wait for it to dry out. And even if it didn't seal it, he'd just end up with slightly PVA'd floor. You know.
Maybe he should have gone with a static grass applicator and just make a grass floor interior.
You have to get past the turtles first, Dutch.
Yeah, April O'Neil isn't showering here. She's somewhere else.
Anyway.
The princess you're looking for is not in this castle.
They've buggered off. Speaking of.
Dungeonalia by H.P. Dandy. So somehow this passed me, even though I was looking at Dungeonalia projects every now and again.
Right. I wasn't. But it's one of the ones I follow. So he was off doing stuff. Now he's back.
Doing more stuff?
Trying to get it ready. So last time we were here, it was a case of I've painted stuff and roughly placing it on the table. Now mats are being cut so that pieces can be inset and that sort of thing. And it's got a really nice fucking look to it. I remember the first time I seen them, Jam, and it was a company in the US were selling them. And I remember going, they look fucking amazing. And then seeing the price and going, I'm going to stick with Cigar Box. Thank you very much. They may not look as amazing, but by Christ, they were cheaper.
Are those mats that expensive?
Not now. The Chinese are doing them, but the initial US ones were very, very expensive. Cheap Chinese ones are very cheap. I don't think the US company's in business anymore because I went looking a while ago and couldn't find them, which is, a shame. Anyway,
look at that.
But this
floating furniture.
This is the creepy abbey, which has the creepy dungeon underneath it, filled with delightfully creepy people.
I'd be very much creeped out if the furniture is floating around.
Yeah, see. That's why you need a young priest and an old priest. Fuck's sake, 3-0. Go fuck yourself, Haaland. Big Shrek-looking fucker. I hope you injure yourself before the match is over.
Oh, look, I found a bookshelf from the Unseen University.
Yep. With the more dangerous books chained down.
Yep. There needs to be somewhere a bucket with ice water and one of these extra special books.
For the sex magic book. Too hot, burst into flames otherwise.
I love the way Terry is pulling everybody's leg.
Good. It's the way to do it. So, yeah, these were the bits and pieces he'd done beforehand, before he fucked off for his vacation.
Why do people keep doing vacations? That's horrible.
I believe the wife and children were probably saying something like, we need to leave the house for a while till the fumes calm down.
Get over here.
These are ones and zeros. Yeah. Can't have everything.
Maybe he will see the error in his ways and redo it in proper materials and given time.
I'm still trying to find out how the dungeon is going to be revealed under the abbey during gameplay. Because it's all set on top. Is he just going to have to lift off a 4x4 board?
It looks like it. But maybe that's why he's keeping the tiles separate, so that he can just lift off one part.
I thought that as well, but I think when we're looking at it, the buildings cross. So, yeah, I just think it's going to have to be a case of strip the whole table and do it. But time will tell when I get my bat report, because I imagine I will. Because there's no point in running this at a convention if you're not going to give me a bat report.
Well, that's very true.
He didn't say where his gaming club was. I know it's a school somewhere in North America, but fortunately he hasn't narrowed it down much.
Yeah, and also there's way too much water between you and him to nick him his terrain.
Terrible.
It's like people are avoiding you on purpose.
The tablecloth trick would be fun, Andy, except when he whips it away, the abbey would still be there and would just drop down into the dungeon. So he'd need to be more like my version of the tablecloth, or maybe the Ghostbuster version of the tablecloth trick. You just whip it all away, then go, the fountain is still standing.
Hello, Nick, welcome.
What the fuck's a TwitchCon? Is that where they get you to give money to people on Twitch? That sounds like a con to me.
Virtual convention. I have never understood the concept of that, but
they need a
the young ones seem to be into it.
For the hot tub girls.
Yep, also those.
It's good to know. Good to know.
Maybe the top board is going to be hinged.
Magnetize all the figures.
You're gaming on a 90-degree surface.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're all fine here. Anyway, so yeah, I do like the whole project, and I particularly like the fact it's a school convention, like you used to go to in the old days, where you go to like QCon before the Nine-Tailed Cat people took it over and wrecked it. They're fucking Pikachus. So I'm glad that at least somewhere in the world, schools are still running gaming clubs and putting conventions on.
Some geezer, and I'm pretty sure I know why you picked this project.
You don't. You have no way of knowing. You haven't a clue.
Well, the squirrel is an indicator.
There may be a squirrel. There's a better picture of it down further on.
Yeah, I know. He showed it off
squirrel
in Discord as well, I think. Squirrel.
Good old Simon.
And some mushrooms.
And some shroomage. So this was just a little couple of additions post whatever that was called in October.
Terrain Fest.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Fair enough. So long ago, I can't remember.
To be fair, I can't remember what I did last week prior to Tactica, so who cares even? You can't change it anyway, so...
Just move on. Leave it on the wave behind.
Yeah.
But it's nice seeing some of Bad Squiddo's creepy-looking fucking vegetation.
I'm not sure if I would call that vegetation anymore.
Flora and fauna.
Well, it's remnants.
You don't know they're dead.
Leftovers.
The fungus is still alive.
Yeah, okay, I give you that. The grass as well, but the trees, I don't think are very much.
Go on, Luton. 3-1. Comeback's on. Fucking get in. Need more Bad Squidlet stuff, especially the giant shrooms. They have some really nice bits and pieces. They picked up somebody else's range when they were stopping producing it, which means Annie's got this phenomenally big range of scatter pieces in a whole host of fantasy and some moderately historically accurate bits and pieces for scatter. You get much more out of it if you're a fantasy player, to be fair. But
I recently stumbled across a army I had forgotten. I can't remember who made them, but they're called Mushy Men and are fungoid warriors.
Right.
Which in itself isn't too much of a thing unless you're German. Because
Right.
the word mushy can be either meaning small kitten, cute kitten, or be a very derogative term for the female reproductive organ.
All right, fair enough. That makes
So
sense.
there's some giggling going on in my brain every time
Don't
I
tell
see
Warren
them.
that. If Warren discovers that,
Mushy men are actually pussy men.
yep. Oh, that would set him off completely. It's crooked dice to them. It's those ones.
Could be. Can't remember. Beware the kitten man.
Do they look like these?
Yep, so those are the mushy men. Yep.
Terrible, terrible fungi bastards. Can't trust them.
Got their spores everywhere.
Yeah, I remember Bad Squiddo before it was Bad Squiddo, when it was just Annie crocheting dice bags.
Oh, I remember the Beast of War ones.
And then, oh no, the Dice Bag Annie and Annie from Bad Squiddo, who made dice bags, are not the same Annie,
Oh,
and they're not the same dice bags.
no, you're confusing me completely. Okay.
So yeah, so she used to crochet, and then she couldn't crochet anymore because she had like repetitive strain injury or something, means that she couldn't do the crocheting any longer. But before she'd hit that point, she'd started doing saga armies, where she would buy like boxes of warlords, Vikings, or the gripping beast, Viking and Dark Age warriors, and would split them up. So it was like you don't need a fucking box of 60 herdmen. You need like 12. So 2 sprues of those, and then like 2 sprues of the Dark Age warriors, and blah blah blah. And she just sold essentially starter saga forces in plastic by breaking down boxes, and then she started going into the looking for female figures that weren't all wearing boob armor. And so it was like these little incremental steps. It was like, we can't make dice bags anymore, but I've been selling my saga forces, and then I've been selling female adventurers and female fighters who didn't look like they just stepped off a stripper stage in Dallas, that she'd just been sourcing from other companies, so like Reaper and Footsore and anybody who did halfway decent figures that could be used for mostly saga at that point. And then it just went from there to getting her own stuff sculpted to doing full ranges. So it was like step. It's good. It was good times.
It's definitely a very ingenious way of making money from your hobby.
Yeah. 9 years old. 9. Doesn't feel like that long at all.
Yeah, that's because we have an event in between. So,
although to be fair, we have gone through an edition of Saga since then. So yeah, because all of our stuff was originally for first edition, which is all buried over there.
time flies.
Said Fugit and Teria Tempest a repairable Fugit. But meanwhile it is flying. Time irretrievable is flying.
One edition of Saga, about 10 of Webster.
Well, yeah.
Feels about right.
that is the current going rate.
Oh, look.
Unfortunately, for one edition of Saga sold, GW sell about 250,000 copies of Webster. Yeah.
Well, people line up for 250 editions, but only 100 get one.
Yeah, well, I'll teach them. So this is Amachan's, Amanda's oily project. Speaking of people who can no longer do because of physical issues. This has sort of spun out from there. So Amanda's run into issues with not being as, I was going to say tactile, but that's not the right word. Not being as nimble. That'll work for the time being. Dexterous. That was the word I was looking for. Not as dexterous as she was, so can no longer paint in the way that she was previously. And to that end, looking for ways around it, either through the use of oils and enamels, because they are much more forgiving than acrylics. You've got more working time and you can clean up hours/days later. Well, not if you're using enamels, but if you're using the oils, you can do it days later. And also other bits and pieces like blue tack based painting handles and grips are no longer going to be doable, because using mineral spirits and solvents with the oil enamels just melts the poster tack or the blue tack or the putty that was holding them. So to that end, a new supercharged magnetized version of the painting handle has been deployed. Magnets, how do they work?
Magic.
Don't know. You should get Annie on for an OTT interview. I think we talked about that salute last year. I don't know why that didn't happen. I don't blame Ben.
Because he's the one we haven't insulted today yet from the team. There's Shay. We also need to insult Shay.
Pray away the Shay. Well, he's off at Aylestorm tonight, so he's jumping up and down somewhere in the crowd right now. Yeah.
Jumping up and down to be able to see something, or because the crowd is jumping?
Better column A, better column B. It's very tiny. Almost too tiny. But the project's interesting for a couple of reasons. I do like I suppose, here's a problem, here's why it's a problem, here's what I'm going to do to rectify it. Breakdown that has been ongoing. And it's one of those things you don't think of. It's like, I can't remember who it was, but somebody asked about gripping a paintbrush, which led me to getting Oyamaru blue stuff and making a paintbrush grip, because you can mold that with hot water, and you can mold it to exactly the size you need to be able to hold on to it. Because there's I
feel we talked about that on a weekend months ago.
Oh, fucking years ago. It's an aging hobby, and I imagine more and more of us will run into issues like this with not being able to grab X, Y, and Z,
or even see what you're doing.
Well, I'm not worried about that.
But speaking of growing older, I think we're currently in a rather good spot. I just today saw a video of a friend of mine and his Judas Priest cover band, and they did a shot of the audience, and it was like, is the home of the elderly on leave? It was just white hair all over in the front row.
Oh no, that's how that happens.
Oh, but they still were chanting and singing along and trying to raise their hands, not getting past the shoulder height.
All of those are probably how things happen. Probably, I imagine. I imagine calling in a exterminator to get rid of Ben is quite difficult. Yeah, I've got Ben in my walls. What? Ben? You mean bees?
No, a ban. Like a badger, and he's burrowing right under my house.
But anyway, so yeah.
Friend of General Haig went to see to a Pink Floyd tribute band and felt like one of the kids, probably one of the youngest there.
Nice. In a few weeks' time, he said in a high question voice, Stiff Little Fingers are going to be playing up at Custom House Square in Belfast. I'm going, I should probably see them before they all die. You know, a lot of the original lineup are still there playing. And it's just, it's bizarre. What's more bizarre is some of the other bands that are still going, ones who've been kicking around since the 60s. You're going, like,
They must be 80
fucking,
by now, at least.
well, yeah, well, Mick Jagger and friends, they're still fucking going. And it's so bizarre watching them strut out on stage. Yoko Ono, 91, her voice still sounds exactly like it did when she was in the Yoko Ono band. That's not necessarily a good thing, mind you, but, you know, it does.
The voice that killed the Beatles.
That's the one.
But while we're on the subject of music, at Saturday I was at Tactica with my friend who owned the friendly local game store next to me, who I play BattleTech with each Thursday.
Sure.
And when I told him that you were looking forward to go to Pearl Jam,
yes,
he got very excited because he's a fan of Pearl Jam as well.
Well done, him.
And then we tried to look up what the ticket prices in Germany would be.
170 euro is what we were being charged for them.
Yeah, Berlin is charging 250 to 350.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
For a single ticket.
It is absolutely fucking insane.
Yeah,
but, I don't know.
I
don't know.
He's still seriously considering it, I think. And my advice would be, if he has never seen them, go.
Has he not?
Do it.
Oh, they had a fucking amazing set in Berlin in 2018, and the tickets were about a third or maybe a quarter of that price.
Yeah, but at 2018 he was still working his own shop, so
yeah,
couldn't really. I guess getting away for a concert isn't very, very viable at that point.
Yeah, I didn't know the Dead Kennedys played Belfast. Where are the Pixies playing, Nick? Weirdly, the Pixies were supporting Pearl Jam at that concert in Berlin. I think they did them in London as well.
It sometimes it feels like some bands just refuse to die on the sheer premise that they are soaked in alcohol.
Yeah, pickled.
Yeah, that's the one.
Absolutely pickled. Anyway. But yeah, keep on keeping on there, Amanda. Can't wait to see more of the Romans. They go to the house.
Denzien is doing a Victorian Empire that has no Death Star, which is very disappointing.
Well, you know, these are a mix of Indian and Indian adjacent. So in some cases, they may be trucking into Afghanistan. In some cases, they might just be going hell for leather at the British in India. Could go either way. Look at them. Sudanese bastards. At least they don't have their fuzzy wuzzies with them. Pixies are in the Olympia. Dead Kennedys were in the slime shite. Well, that makes sense. When are the Pixies in the Olympia? Don't answer. I'll just check that myself. You tear on doing whatever you were doing. You keep watching the show.
Oh look, a soon-to-be-dead Sean Connery.
Fuck me, they're playing Belfast as well.
This evening
at Customs House Square.
This evening is getting expensive quickly for Mr. Macabre.
I'm going to close that up. Well, the good thing about Customs House Square is, right, it's a square in Belfast where they put a big tent up. And then they have like a concert there in the square. And directly opposite is McHugh's bar. And you can just sit at McHugh's and drink and not have to pay in and can still hear everything.
So if you're not really into seeing the artist on stage, but just enjoying the music,
I've seen pictures. Fuzzy Wuzzies, they do not like it up them. You're correct, Demon Sub. The Fuzzy were a tribe during the Sudanese conflict. And they got nicknamed that because they had this really, almost like an afro, big, bushy, vibrant head of hair. And so that was the nickname they got from the British troops, the Fuzzy Wuzzies. I can't remember the name of the actual tribe. It may or may not come to me.
oh look, Maoris in the wild.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't be Denzin if he didn't go outside to take pictures of them running through the wilderness.
I wonder if he ever forgets a mini and then has a very sudden realization there was a mini when he gets there with a lawnmower. Just think,
That would be terrible. Why would you even say something like that out loud where people could hear it?
because I'm a terrible person.
Apparently so. Nobody wants a miniature, sweet, innocent miniature to be chopped into bits.
Well, even worse, if you're not mowing yourself, but you have some kind of electric automatic lawnmower going.
It's just the worst. Sunday passed. It was warm and dry here, and every fucker and their dog was out cutting the grass. I was going, this would be an ideal time for me to do mine, except Liverpool's playing the Carabao Cup, and I'm off to the bar. So let's just hope it doesn't rain constantly for every day since. And unfortunately it has. Oh well, what a shame.
Yeah, that's something that couldn't happen here. Because at Saturdays, mowing your lawn is forbidden.
Verboten.
Yes, on Sunday you have to keep quiet. So people can get a rest.
It's madness. Madness, I say.
Yep.
We didn't win a war for that, you know.
No, we didn't. We lost, so we're taking Sunday off.
Oh, yeah, I'm off in 2 weeks, something. Hidden Dua. Oh, that sounds similar to what I was after. You can see why they went with Fuzzy Wuzzy. I love Denzin stuff. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Shame it's not on, 20 mil squares, but you can't remember.
Horribly talented person, or to say it with the words of somebody else.
Bastard.
Well, I can't.
Also that.
Bastards. The problem is one person gets up early and decides to wake up the neighborhood, Nick. And then from that moment on, everybody else gets hassled into doing it.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing.
Either that, or you're the second one up shooting the first one before the others get up.
Look, it's British naval unit with a Gatling gun. Bunch of bastards.
Going daka 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 daka.
You went speeding past Billy Fish and Danny and Peachy, which is, a shame.
Where is he? Where is he?
Oh, way up the fucking top. It's like the second entry.
Yeah, when I said there's the one who will be king and then just lose his head.
I wasn't really listening.
See,
I was too busy checking for prices of Pixie tickets. 6 hours. See, out with a ruler and a fucking pair of shears, doing them all to the same level. Fuck's sake. 6 hours. It grates on me if I take more than about 3/4 of an hour to do mine. And it only takes 3/4 of an hour if I've left it too long and it's grown really fucking high. Otherwise, you can just go zim around and you're fucking done. Spend more time picking the cat shit out of the fucking grass before I cut it than I do cutting it, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, mowing the lawn shouldn't take 6 hours. That's
Propo mower. No. At no point do I want anything with moving blades to have a life of its own. No, it's like remember whenever Warren did his whole Illuminati thing and wired his whole house up to Alexa so he can scream at it, turn on the lights and heat the house and all the rest of it. I've got a stick here that I lean back and hit the switch with if I need more light on. And that's very much, when the AIs kick off and everything starts shutting down and going rum, at least my house won't be fucking uninhabitable.
Yeah, but and also if ever the servers go down, he suddenly doesn't have any power over his own house.
It's what's that joke? Tech enthusiasts wire everything up. Every bit in their house is wired up to some sort of central hub, whereas actual tech people and programmers and the like, everything is manual, everything is analog. They have one elderly printer in the house and they keep a gun beside it in case it starts making weird noises in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, most people I know in the industry are actually using paper calendars and notepads.
Oh yeah,
because reasons.
makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. Anyway,
things made from paper usually can't be hacked.
Yep. But yeah, I love Denzine stuff. Do all the Maris and everything. It's just so nice. It's so nice. Weird that you watched Zulu on January the 1st and not on 27th, but teach their own, I suppose. Teach their own. I really want to pick up a copy of Tribal so I can do some Mari stuff. No, I won't. Not right now.
Maybe after the show.
Shh, Jurgen's sleeping. He's very tired.
The poor little bugger.
Shall we?
Hack the planet! Yes, we should.
Next one's a good one. It's from the Bale and Skull show.
Yeah, but I think it's missing Bale and Skull, is it?
It's like all the other episodes where you have to build up to Bale and Skull coming in and being incredible by having non-Bale and Skull people
doing stuff.
I'm never on Zorg in that respect. So yeah, Ahsoka, Kevin, and Celine. This may or may not have been their names. But he's got the old ones and zeros things out. And they still needed to be fixed up to be more detailed / accurate. So additional bits had to be popped on there for the... He calls them Leku, and I would have called them that as well, but I'm pretty sure they're not. Because she's not a Twi'lek. But anyway, extended those, fixed the lightsaber, and then did some additional detailing. But it's the painting on her robes that really stands out, because he's done a load of texturing to make them look like those sort of homespun, woven poncho that she wears, with really coarse fibers. So it's all sort of painted on texture. Still haven't watched it yet as anything like Sapphire and Steel. I mean, it's right up there. David and Joanna were excellent in that, and Bale and Skull and the Bale and Skull show was great. So,
thanks for the subscription, Defective Dice.
Taruga, yes, that's what she is. Or is that what you're saying the name of her things are as well?
Togruta.
Yeah, the nice thing about Sabine is every time you turn around, she's got different armor on because she's forever fucking repainting it and redying her hair and stuff. So as far as never having to worry about having a samey model goes, she's right up there for that one.
Yeah, I think the only miniature you could paint that's even more... It doesn't matter what colors you use, would be a chameleon.
There's a YouTube cut that just shows Bale and Skull. Just watch that. Don't give in to terrorists, James. But yeah, Kevin is really nice as well. He's even got a lightsaber there, which obviously he doesn't have in the Bale and Skull show.
But does he?
No, he doesn't. They arrive and they're being attacked. And Sabine goes, "Here, you can have this." He goes, "Nah, it's all right," and then proceeds to force kung fu the shit out of everybody who comes at him, because he doesn't need a lightsaber, because he's been living on some sort of death world with Dathomiri night witches for the last 10 years by himself without one. So he's just learned how to be a double hard bastard. He only gets a lightsaber when he builds it.
In the company of tiny, small shell people.
Yes. Yeah.
I want those on the table. I like those.
You might see them. I'm more interested in the Tusken Raider samurai that Shin Hati is going to be leading in the next season. That could be interesting. Time will tell. But yeah,
there's so much potential in the new series for gaming.
oh, so much potential, and then all sadly dealt with when they realised that Balen Skull was the star of the show, and then they had him killed. Harsh, very harsh. They'll cast somebody who's a plum Dutch, and it'll annoy me. They'll cast the equivalent of fucking Shia LaBeouf or something.
There's going to be some kind of accident, and then he will be wearing a mask for the rest of the season.
Then his voice wouldn't sound right either. They'd be better off just recast him and just keep going. But they'll recast him as a tube.
Yeah, it's a shame. That's one of the characters that actually stood out, even as they just teased the trailers.
It's because he was great. It'll probably end up, they'll get Rob Schneider to play Balen Skull.
Why would you say such things?
Well, Andor's been great. I've really liked Andor. I'm looking forward to the second season of that as well.
Yeah, Andor is basically Star Wars for grown-ups.
Shit the Beef would not be hilarious, Jill. You take that back. Ray Winston would be, yeah, cock it, you slag. That was him playing Bors in King Arthur. It was a direct quote. Is there any good Star Wars show after the Baby Yoda show got bad? Either that or have Ben Kingsley. But he plays Balen Skull in the same way he played that nutter from Sexy Beast. Oh.
I think you mean Tortuga. Sean Bean being Balen Skull.
That was one of the ones that was posited. Yeah. There's been talk about who'd you call him?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No. He was Wolverine's brother in the terrible, terrible Wolverine movie.
I know.
Leave Schreiber or Schreiber, whatever it is. There's talk of him.
Brian Blessed.
Brian Blessed would be amazing.
He would be very loud.
It doesn't have to be. He's not always very loud.
Well, you see, this is where the Jedi are wrong.
I think Jared Butler might work. I did spend some time with IMDb opened at about a dozen pages at one point, Googling ages and heights of requisite actors, trying to find one close. Couldn't really find any, to be fair.
Oh, Taurus, have you seen? I'm pretty sure you have seen that meme that Warhammer Grimace had shared on Discord. The half the budget on the 40k TV series is already spent on miniatures.
That makes sense. What do he do? Buy himself a Custodes army?
Potentially.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well,
Just don't fuck it up. Don't fuck up the story. I think is the. I mean, I couldn't give a shit about the other characters, to be brutally honest. None of them are interesting. But Bale and Skull was great.
we'll see what they make of it.
Better not make it a fuck up, or somebody's going to get stabbed up.
Speaking of stabby, shall we step on?
Kingsley was great in Iron Man. Oh, anyway.
So this is a weird.
Fuck me, 5'2", Luton. Eric Highland scored all 5.
Danley is doing some weird teddy bear stuff.
Yes, he is. That is his starting point. And to be brutally honest, I would have been quite content from just stopping there. I think
give him a golden button just for this picture.
Just for that. But he didn't. He smashed it off.
Oh,
and they probably cruelly brought it out back and jumped up and down on it.
And even worse, he then used the ones and zeros to put in place.
No.
Not the ones and zeros?
Hearst Arts.
Oh.
Old school casting with silicon. I
won't be saying anything in that case then.
Hearst Arts like the real kids do it.
Yeah, I'd love some of those molds if they weren't so bloody expensive.
Yeah, that's why I never bought any. Somewhere in the studio, Warren and Lloyd have like a fuckload of them. Because they've made so many things out of them.
Not degraded to horrible extent.
Could be. All my silicon molds are all in bags with talcum powder to keep them safe. But yeah, it is very weird Dungeonalia, and that, Taurus, is because Lloyd said something about bedroom fantasy on a sexual BS one day, which then gave Dan the worst ideas. So once he got his masonry backdrop done,
I like this quote. I can do this. I've built IKEA furniture.
Yep. Then he made this, leaning into his bedroom fantasy. I'd like to point out that's an Elven standard in the background with some sort of bloody OTT logo. And also, for people who aren't in the House of Water, #BestHouse, I was watching Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities, and there's an episode called The Collector, where there's RoboCop, weirdly, is an incredibly rich man who collects weird shit.
Oh, that's the episode that's so far off, where they're all doing the drugs and are going completely batshit. That's if you ever have a love for 80s movies, go watch that episode. You're going to be off your socks.
Oh yeah, it was amazing. But the most amazing thing was the fact that the OTT logo was on the collector's invitations.
I didn't spot that.
No, you just keep looking up at the mad sexual deviancy of Dan Lee there while I find it.
Oh, look, and he even broke the foot. Oh, what a shame.
Because I used my tech guy skills to do this. I'll have you know.
I really like how this is going from, let's see.
Teddy bear to dominatrix.
Teddy bear?
Oh, damn. I'm just saying you should have kept the teddy bear. You got a golden button for that, mate. You've removed it and put on some sort of sexual deviant.
Well, the teddy bear could have been part of the diorama, getting spanked.
A hotel in Strasbourg, where the Strasbourgians live.
That's almost around the corner, but not quite.
Don't mind me.
I never do.
having a genuous.
Genuine news?
Brothers, husband, boyfriend, partner, whatever they are. I probably should know that. Got me one of those nitro surge things for Christmas. And I finally worked out how to make it work. Well, that's quite nice.
So you whack it on top of the can and then you push the button, or how does it work?
Yes, but the angle of the pour is important to not introduce additional bubbles into your pint
Ah, okay.
and stuff like that.
So
Anyway.
the cream is just a slight cream on top.
Yes, and then you don't turn on the button when you're doing the final pour because you don't want to introduce any more bubblage to it. There's a thing, click the thing, click the thing, click it. Yes.
I can see where this is going.
So there's the invitation from the collector. There it is. Turn the right way up.
Can't click because people are... Yeah, I can see.
And then there's the OTT otter symbol. Are they saying that on tabletop are some sort of deviant collectors who do all the drugs? Because I certainly am. Da, da, da. The minute Del Toro held up the invitation, I immediately went, I've seen that fucking logo before.
Yeah, Del Toro will be next year's Grandmaster.
Oh, somebody write that down because I'm not going to remember that in a year's time after a significant amount of drink. Never.
James wants a jerry can on how to pour. that would be a jerry can.
See if you try and find how to fucking use it, not just the little manual, which I think I've still got around here somewhere. No. Shit. I may have finally thrown it out. The little manual fucking makes no sense. And eventually I found the head of Guinness's R&D type of thing, showing how to do it and it talking through it and then fucking off to do something else and then coming back like 5 minutes later when it's settled to finish off topping up and get the dome head and all the rest. He's going, oh, there's a slight bubble on the top there, but that's because I was doing such and such. And you're going, fuck me, that makes so much sense and so much easier than the explanation you've written inside your fucking box. Please don't do that. Yeah, I would quite happily do a jerry can on that. Multiple takes.
That could be a backstage or special.
Just give that a moment. Need to let that settle. But have you seen the craze in Legend with Tom Hardy? I just go, look at the head on that. That's beautiful. I've just got to let that settle now. And then they proceed to kick the ever-living shit out of the other people. One of them with hammers. We see Warren do a GW on then? Probably. I don't know.
So who's next on our list of targets?
More? You want more?
Yes, I want all of it. Until I explode.
Your nipples explode with delight. Newcastle have finally scored. Holy fucking shit. Just as somebody asked, can City and Luton send some of their goals to the other matches? And Bournemouth and Leicester into extra time. Wow.
Old McToffee had a farm. EI.
EIO. So this is some of the heroic 12 mil stuff that Tuffy's been working on.
For a second, I needed to rethink what we were calling the heroic 12 mil.
I think it was heroic 12. It might have been heroic 10s, to be fair.
It's a weird...
It's a ridiculous scale. But some interesting addendums for the old Pusher Pike. Oh, there can't be many of you, Demon. Don't think it's allowed. Is it? Is it allowed? Do they not forcibly move you on? Send you to Sunderland? It's like being sent to Coventry.
Contains more than 1,300 soldiers. Is that an exaggeration?
No. But remember, strip is like 10 or 12. So you get like, I could have told you, but I have one sprue left and it's in the next room. I only found that the other day. I was like, where the fuck do you come from? I thought I threw you all in the bin. So yeah, so they count everybody on a strip. You'll see later on whenever you see the painted ones. The London Lobsters, who, for some unknown reason, are not wearing lobster pots as helmets. I find that very, very terrible. Look, there you go. You can count them.
10 on a strip. That's still 130 strips.
So 130 strips.
Fucking hell, painting 130 of those.
That's fine.
You say that.
I say that because I've got 6mm fucking ACW sitting not too far away from me.
Has Shay finally made you go paint stuff?
No, I'd actually started before him.
Oh, okay.
So, but then I've got more work to do than him because he came to me and he was going, how do I paint these?
With a brush and paint, young Padawan. Silly question. Next question.
I just went spray them grey. Spray them Halford's grey and fuck a wash over them. You're 90% done for the Confederacy, Shay.
Confederacy.
Oh God, yeah. James. As soon as we get forces done and dusted, we'll do something. I've got one of Cigar Box's old 6mm ACW mats somewhere that has, like a specific set out on it. So trees, fields, river, roads, all of that printed on. So don't even have to put any fucking things on it. Be amazing.
We just looked at your tiny fighting man.
Altar of
Thomas
Freedom.
called them 15mm with an inferiority complex.
Yeah, I think it is Altar of Freedom. Can I? No. Are you still there? Are you my army? Lesh. Oh no. No. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Altar of Freedom.
It's all gone.
Yes. But it's nice seeing the heroic 10mm stuff, heroic 12mm. Somebody, what one was it? Royalists
We
are
need
the
to
bad
have a
guys.
word about you painting royalists.
It depends where you come down on that line there, Dutch. I think in the grand scheme of things, I think the royalists may have been the good guys, considering what Cromwell did when he was in charge.
Well, to be fair, is there really a total... Is there any faction you can actually call good or bad? They're all wankers.
Yeah,
Power
pretty much.
corrupts.
Yeah, but the amount of towns burnt to the foundations by the royalists in Ireland is substantially less than the amount burnt by the parliamentarians.
Well, you gotta start somewhere.
I'm inclined to agree the royalists are... I mean, they wouldn't have brought them back if they weren't gooder. Half royalists and half rot traders. It's allowed.
It's balanced. Tuffy is going the way of the Grey Jedi.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Which
Although
isn't surprising to me at all.
Voiced by Tom Baker, so, that makes sense. Anyway, yeah. So some interesting little historical factlets that Tuffy has in there as well, including some really nice bits of art of some of the commanders from various collections and some sealed knot-esque pictures as well. So it's a nice place to go and visit if you're thinking about doing the SW.
Maybe using a weird scale.
Yeah. Although I will say the weirdest one is the church that's now being attacked/defended, being defended by 15mm Germans on some sort of ridiculous fucking tank. which I think might be some sort of Team Yankee-esque thing. I mean, I don't care how well the lobsters are armored. If they come up against that, they are fuckered. 100%.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's a problem.
Oh, demi plate, you say? Have at ye with my depleted uranium shell. Which-ha, which-ha. Yeah,
Catch.
really nice project.
Parry this filthy casual.
Yes, very much that. Very much that. So yeah, wait and see what Tough does next.
Potentially.
I have a question about the counters.
Markers of death. Casualty markers.
They're not turnable, are they? They are just literally 1, 2, 3, blah blah blah.
They definitely look like they're a solid piece.
That's a massive kick in the spuds. What size are they, width-wise? Tough, because I would say take a pair of clippers to those and cut the number wedge out and then pick up Charlie Foxtrot or somebody like that. Just get one of their turnable ones. And then just glue those on the top over the wooden, because they're normally just 2 pieces of wood, turnable base on them or whatever. Because they look, they look really nice, but the fact that they only ever mark up to, 1, 2, 3, or 4 is really fucking annoying.
James made the point the benches are 12.14 millimeters tall for reference, so it's potentially 15 mil across. Sort of, kind of. Size of a half penny.
Do that. War dials are something 15 mil war dials.
Could fit.
I think they would fucking do it. The only problem you'll have is some of them have a screw in the center, which you'd have to thread through the base maybe or something. But the fact they don't sit perfectly flat. Oh, hang on, there's a set that don't have a screw. Yeah, I think this is doable. Definitely. Just saying, just throwing it out there. You could use them for so many other things. It's terrible. Warbases don't glue their things. So that's the problem that comes with fame and more people using your stuff. In the old days when there was only 3 people ordering from them, you could get away with a lot more. Oh, old world people doing it. How outrageous. That is outrageous. Anyway, so yes.
It ruins the fun.
It does. It does. I always thought it was rapscallion.
Dracoon is doing B1s.
Oh, Blackbird have equalized. Oh, fucking suck it up.
Blackbird.
Fuck me. 6-2 for City against Luton. I hope you run out of goals for the rest of the season.
Is there a fixed allotment put on teams?
Yeah, I think so. Must be. Makes sense.
I have no idea.
Draconis is painting tiny fighting battle droids.
Which are
Roger.
a pain to assemble, allegedly.
Oh, I cherish my ignorance. Why would I bother doing that to myself?
Clankers never wanted to play them.
As he says, after finishing off one droid to a level I was satisfied with, it was then on to the other 35 of the core B1s to get them all up to the same place.
Yeah.
But he's doing the thing, the color-coded thing, so you can tell squads apart.
Which is a reasonable thing to do.
Fucking genius. I like this. Although I don't know why he's moved away from doing Dead Zone stuff. for me to copy into doing droids that I don't need. I don't need to copy this. Draconis, what you doing, man? Calm down.
Maybe he needs some kind of palette cleanser.
I have
Reset
a
his stuff.
fire seal. Do a droid army. No, I won't. I'll get everything else bar the fucking droids and the fire sale. I imagine the droids will be like a lot. You know, whenever they do fire sales and one army just gets left abandoned, nobody can be arsed with it. That'll be the droids, and then I'll be able to swoop in months, years down the line. There'll still be tons of stock of it. Fine.
From what I've seen in the kits, I think those are really the worst is the wrong word, but the most annoying to assemble miniatures in the
Shittiest.
whole range. Well, that works too.
God awful tree.
Though to be fair, the early versions of the core set, where they still came in little plastic bags, at times were really horrible to
Lester
assemble.
scored by fucking time, Lester. I can't see the City Luton game going to extra time unless Luton get a fucking shift on. They've got to score 4 in the next 9 minutes. Get a wobble on. Well,
James, I don't even know what a Rubicon kit is, so...
Rubicon. Rubicon are wargaming scale. See, I'm torn in several respects because some Rubicon kits are much better than Warlord. So Rubicon's American half-track that has a pre-assembled lower hull with all the weird angles in it. Well, not pre-assembled, but it's one piece. You don't have to fuck around. So those are great. And when they came out, it was like, it's wargaming kits with detail that are easier to assemble than the shitty Italeri Warlord plastics. And then at some point, somebody decided, after doing presumably all the drugs, that they should really start making them more complicated and detailed. And that's where they lost me. They do like an awful lot of pieces, but they got there. It's not like they started off with tons of pieces. That they were slightly more annoying to build, but like I say, some of the kits were actually easier to build than the Warlord ones. But then at some point they decided quality has a quantity all of its own. And to do this, we must have all the parts. And they went hell for leather into the other side. I think somebody doing the Hueys for Vietnam possibly lost their shit altogether. I imagine that it was like a 1,000-yard stare. Just, you know, all he could hear was Fortunate Son playing on the radio, and that was it. He was gone. Yeah, see, I'm still impressed the Huey has more parts than the real thing. Yep.
Well, it's a miniaturized thing, so you need tiny parts.
That is not how any of that works.
Is not?
Nope, it is not.
But I want it to work that way.
You get Justin doing a box. Come on, before this long, but classic. Did John do an unboxing on the one he bought?
I can remember seeing when I've last seen John doing an unboxing.
Well, you know, there's a whole other thing right there. So I'm fairly certain I asked him to do some World War I armies from Battlefront.
As an unboxing?
Yep. They're still sitting in the studio. Maybe when he comes back, he'll do them. Yeah, Malifaux models they're a thing, aren't they? Isn't it? Oh,
That doesn't sound really...
But they're so nice. I mean, I've got this lady on top of her creepy teddy bear. And she came with all sorts of additional bows and ribbons that were all separate. You know, that you could... Somebody was saying they hate this on thing. So I don't even know that. Or will it disappear suddenly?
No, it's fine.
Oh, it's staying there. Okay. So she's sitting on the back of that bear. And she's got like a little bow on her back. And there's some extra ribbons that I just went, you know what isn't going glued onto her fucking hair. Those extra ribbons in her little princess fucking space bands. They're just being chucked the fuck out because I do not need them up there. But yeah, and this is one of the more sedate, sane ones to make. They have got better, DD. Their initial stuff was fucking insanity, and it's very similar to the hard plastic battle droids from Star Wars in that respect. Their initial plastics was like, oh, we can make this thing in CAD and tear it apart and have all the parts on the sprue, and they're going, yeah, you can do that, but people do not want to assemble that. And I think there's a step companies have to make between learning that they can do something and that they shouldn't. And most companies do that in increments where they make the world's most fucking insane model out of hundreds of parts, and then they go, right, maybe the next time we cut that down to maybe dozens of parts, and then eventually they go, you can have the body and legs all in one, you stick the head and arms on yourselves, go fucking nuts. You know, you get down to 5 and going, yes, that's where we wanted it. That right there.
I'm still waiting for the 28mm skeletons where every bone is separate.
I mean, we're not a million miles away. The Marvel Crisis Protocol, before the Star Wars went to them for Star Wars Crisis Protocol, they were doing weird shit like that as well, going, have you considered gluing one arm on, but then having the finger and thumb separate, and then having a vambrace covering the join? You're going, no, I've never considered that. Why the fuck would you even think? Why would you have those separate? It's like 2 mil by 1.5 mil. If I clip this off the sprue, it's fucking going anywhere. I'm never finding this again. The Punisher will have to spend the rest of his life with only 3 fingers on one hand, like some sort of fucking fireworks refugee on the 5th of July, for fuck's sake.
I was thinking more like a lumberjack or sawmill worker. And then you get the super detailed gunpla kits. Yeah, they actually are engineered properly.
Good old Dom. Yes, well, that is true. I have seen that in the past, yeah. Has he taken you up on it yet? There's a special edition kit with tiny cats and their legs are separate. I haven't seen that one.
God.
That must be a recent one. Lovelace is my most recent special edition, which she's still in the sprue. I only got her because I'd ordered like fucking 300 quid's worth of Easter Bunny rabbits. And they went, here you go, you've spent over $300 on the same fucking model, you lunatic.
Halflings all the way.
Them fucking halflings are race balls on those. I really need to get them on a base and out of the box that they're currently just fucking languishing in before they get broken. Anyway, yeah, so over engineering, that's an issue. We learned this from the war, as we were told. You know, the Luger, beautiful piece, lots of moving parts, but in the desert, sand got in there, didn't work too well. Pull the trigger, nothing would happen.
Can happen to your miniatures too. Sitting in the desert doing nothing. Greystoke, welcome. Having recently built Conquest models, the droids felt like Lego.
I don't know what you mean, son. I asked Shay to dig that Califracti out for you. He couldn't find it. I walked up today into the room, and there on the shelf in the box, exactly where I told him it was still sitting. Oh, God. Okay. Last Shay's not in until Thursday, so I can't slap him upside the head, but it'll be posted on Thursday.
Maybe he just needs some glasses.
Oh, any glasses at all would be good. There's many paths to conquest, Jam, but unfortunately, apparently, 3 of them are dead ends. Only one, the true path.
I feel one of the 3s is actually going downhill into the ditch.
One of them is nicely cobbled. That's all it is. Could Shay reach the shelf? He could. It was at a reachable height for him.
And I'm guessing there's some kind of step ladder there in the office somewhere.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of step ladders and but this shelf was 1.5 meters, maybe, if even. Probably not even that high. So yeah, it's just the fact it was. I don't know. The fact it wasn't fucking glowing neon green, pulsing to let him know that was the one he needed to pick up.
Use John's past 3D printers as steps.
Oh, they're all on some sort of scrap pile like Johnny 5.
You can use those parts still as scrap building for terrain. Shay had health and safety stepladder training.
All over.
Fucking God.
At Luton. Has he? No, probably not. Can't imagine so. I've not done it with him, and I'm fairly certain nobody else has. We'll find out when he falls off him at some point. You know? It's how these things go.
Who's next on our list? Before we fall off.
Next on my list. Well, there's quite a few people on my list.
You all go on the list.
Yes. Very much so.
Chaos Gorka. Grand Delusion.
Yes. This is apparently, according to Ben, this is what Bretonia is now.
But is it?
I don't know. It's no point in paying attention to GW. They'll change it next week.
I like the color shifting from the hands to the body.
Marco did it on his stuff for the Cursed City a long time ago. He was going, the extremities got colder as if the blood wasn't flowing to there as much. And I do like it, and I've stolen it myself for doing vampire bats and stuff for the Silver Bayonet. I did something very similar. By very similar, I mean fucking identical.
Applying logic and science to miniature wargaming. What an interesting concept.
Yeah, I'll never catch on. It's he's got a book. Shoot him.
Many of them got books. That's the most irritating part of this.
The only problem is I really don't like those ghouls from GW. I really fucking hate them.
Yeah, the sculpts aren't...
Oh, they're god-awful. I mean, obviously GW do some shit sculpts on a regular basis, but the fact that their back hair... Their back hair is stiff enough to hold whole skeletons upright. Makes no fucking sense. I hate that. I don't know why they've got extremely long back hair either. It makes no fucking sense.
Is it even hair, not some kind of...
Yep, hair.
Spiky bits?
Nope, hair.
Yeah, Demon's Up, use heresy. Give Andy some love.
Well, hopefully people give Andy some love this week, because he had a rent bill due today. I don't know if he was going to make it or not.
Yeah, he's really between a rock and a hard place.
It's that catastrophe curve. I don't know if he'd be better off with somebody like a North Star supplying, fitting the casting and all the rest, and him just doing sculpting.
Yeah. Listen, Andy is the owner of Heresy Miniatures.
Gene Stealer golems. Yeah, it's not a bad way to look at them. But yeah, the paint jobs themselves are great, even though the sculpts are hot garbage. I mean, the worst kind of sculpts.
The paint job makes them bearable to look at, but the sculpting is really
Oh, I'd have
Odd.
clipped all those fucking back hairs off. All of them. Clip, 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 clip. Yeah. That's it. Whenever you pay somebody to make a load of fucking molds for you, and then if they end up all in the bin and destroying the masters and fucking everything, it's not a great thing. So that's why I pretty much just went, yeah, because he was going, I can send them out in resin. I've gone, no, don't bother. Honestly, I know how much resin costs. I'd much rather just write that money off on my side than him having to pay to send me miniatures in a more expensive material because the first one's got fucked. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's the saddest part. He really tries to make up for everybody else's mistakes.
Yeah, he should just went, listen, fuckers, you've screwed me here. I'll give you new masters and you do the molds for free, can't?
I just hope he makes
And then
it.
throw the heads in them.
I honestly wish I could afford more of his miniatures, even though I really don't have any need. But the 3-up skeletons he does that's such a nice stuff. But that's just way beyond my budget currently. So
Yeah. But then it's, if he was sculpting and somebody like North Star was fulfilling, would he get enough sales through them? I don't know. It's probably one of the reasons why Colin Patton has sold so many ranges over the years. So, sold them to Footsore, sold them to Warlord, sold them to Gripping Beast. Because once you've got the molds done, if you're not getting the numbers of sales through yourself to justify it, you probably end up making more money selling the molds and letting somebody else fucking sell them.
potentially, if you can find somebody who's willing to pay for the molds.
Yarp. Not to be
On that
confused with
sad
NARP.
note, you had one additional project sort out.
Yes.
For reasons beyond my comprehension. I don't know why you picked that one. It's just pictures.
Liz, but you can talk us through your fucking visit to Hamburgers,
Yes, I did.
where they did tactical hamburgers.
And as you requested, I paid a visit to the extra nice little table.
Is that it?
That's the one.
They did a favela. Favela. It's one of those weird little Brazilian cities. Look, there's my brother's boyfriend / husband.
The one in the red shirt?
No, one of the miniatures on the favela because he comes from Brazil originally.
Oh, okay.
I imagine he's over here so he doesn't get shot in the GTA live server that is Brazil. But these were fucking amazing.
Yeah, Orinoco, historicals and especially World War II seem to have been a very high demand at the tables, though there has been much different. The only thing I really missed this year was usually there's one silly table.
Times. Oh, okay.
And the last time I was there was a Asterix table.
Oh.
Which was very fun to look. Just to look at it, Asterix beating the crap out of the Romans was hilarious.
All the Romans. I wonder, was it the Metal Magic, the old French range?
Yes.
Oh, they're fucking so nice. You can't get them anymore.
I've seen these miniatures. I walked up to the guy and said, "Where can I buy these?" And he got very depressed, very fast, and said, "You can't."
No, they've been out of production since 90s.
Yeah,
and anytime they pop up on the flea bays, they go for a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, the problem I was told was the guy who made them was trying to renew the license, and the license holders are charging a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
So even if he got the license and was able to produce more, you'd probably be still paying the same amount of money you're currently doing on eBay.
Madness. Anyway, open up pictures and tell us about what they were, because I'm
I
not
don't
opening
know
your
what
pictures.
they were because I just was taking pictures as
Oh,
like a
take the pictures
madman.
then. Open the pictures. Show us
Yeah.
things. No point in
See,
going up in town. What was the most
people.
impressive thing for you?
This is just starting the madness. At the end of the day, this is crammed full of people. This is just
Crabs. Crabs.
crabs. This is the most ridiculous game I've ever seen. Doing a
That's interesting.
paintball miniatures game.
Ooh.
A pretend game of a pretend game.
Ebob. Ebob does 28mm paintballing figures for paintball miniatures game. That's really nice though. I wonder what they made their weird giant inflatable shapes out of.
They look like they made of just ordinary DAS clay or something.
Right.
They look more shiny in the pictures than they were actually in person.
Oh, I love the shininess. They get all the gloss, like somebody's inflated a load of fucking stuff and put them in the middle of a field.
Yeah, it was odd, especially since this one table had a window going to the higher up promenade where you can just walk past at the window side or adjacent to the table, so you had a really good look at what's happening here.
No.
But then again, playing paintball? What?
Yeah, I mean, if it's got an external view to other people, a more majestic table would probably be more interesting. But
Yeah, see in the you can't see sadly.
No, can't.
The other just above the clock, there's a walkway around, and the actual rooms are behind that, where the
Like a mezzanine.
yes, that's the word I was looking for. Another thing that got me giggling is this, and people might catch it.
That's a penis.
Nah.
What's giggling? Is that a nacelle from the Enterprise NCC
Yes,
buried in the fucking mud?
it is.
What is this? Do you know what this is?
Let's see. I've taken another picture. Let's see. Can't find a name. I think this was a self-made game of some description, because there's literally no.
I love the perspex or acetate
For water.
for the water, and then it's up on posts so you can see below it.
Yeah, and also
That's
there's
really fucking
train,
nice.
and he doesn't use miniatures, but these little meeples, so they're actually playing under the table.
Sweet.
Another thing that I found quite daunting.
Sexy.
This is a running project they tried to finish over the 2 days that Tactica ran. I'm not sure if they managed.
Right. So they started with the buildings. I was like, we're going to make the board.
Yep.
Was it just crafting? There was no game going on this?
This was just crafting. And the weird thing is, this was a more early picture. When I got there, the two main guys actually doing the build were in a, let's call it, heated discussion on how to do certain things. I was tempted.
They were having a full and frank exchange of views.
I was tempted to stay and wait if one of them is going to flip the table.
Nice.
Yeah, one guy came across like he tried to be the architect, and I'm guessing there had been a proper planning phase prior to being there. So the other
Bye, Demon.
Bye, Demon. The other one was really patient. The biggest thing at Tactica in the physical sense is Mr. Shifting Lens.
Oh, it's Minas Tirith.
Minas Tirith build. With lighting and all. So this is something for Ben to drool over.
Yeah, I should probably let him know that exists.
Oh, if he hasn't seen those.
Who knows? Who knows what he does? I don't follow him when he's not in work.
The odd thing is, this was in one room, and the next room over was 2 demo
See you,
tables
Steve.
by Doros for Rapture on this very small table.
What's Rapture?
A game
is it a
of
new
some
game?
description? I can't really. I don't know, but it seems
Is
to
it
be
like that Hercules actor? One of those Left Behind? Is it the game based on the Christian film Those Left Behind about the rapture?
I don't think so.
No. In that case, it might have something to do with Bioshock because it was set in the underwater city of Rapture. Maybe.
That would feel at least more adjacent.
I'm going to hope that it's still about Kevin Sorbos and his Christianisms.
That's the miniatures cabinet of the company selling the stuff.
Look, they've got a gammon, which is like a salmon, but made of pork. Oh no, look, angels, demons. I think I'm right. I think it's more Kevin Sorbo than you think. There's Atlantis. Any space weirdos? Who knows?
I had seen a table of 0200 hours. I'm not sure if I made a picture of that.
Did you not? What was the attendance like? Do you know?
I can't give you numbers, but it's very well looked
Yeah.
at. So depending on at what time of day you come, it's very crowded to pleasantly crowded.
Pleasantly crowded. Oh,
It's a rather small venue.
Crowded. Yeah, but they always hear good things about Tactica Hamburger.
And this is all the aquarium plants you can find.
Oh my god. Is that oh, it is, it's Drowned Earth.
It's Drowned Earth.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, isn't it though? Whoa. Fuck it. At some point you've just got to go fuck it. I could repaint the aquarium plants, but what's the point?
At that level of quantity, I guess it's just a case of nah.
Yeah.
Ascending Fate, new game by Pete Werner-Klocker. Freebooters Fate in Space.
That's why it sounds familiar. Oh, that'd be interesting. Okay.
Very interesting sculpts as well.
He always does, though.
I know they had planned to do a crowdfunding at the end of 2023, but that somehow hasn't happened, as far as I know.
Right. Okay.
So, still nothing on release date.
Really? 99 quid to cruise over to Hamburg, then go to Tactica, then cruise your way back?
Yeah, but that cruise ship will take you about 24 hours to cross the channel.
Cares? You just go for a drink and then you sleep.
No, that's true. The Perrys were there, but sadly they didn't sculpt this time. They just displayed some of their paper miniatures.
Oh. Can't have everything. Go Pete, go.
Tiny, tiny, and not so tiny.
2 days, drink, sleep, and visit the war game show. Fucking amazing.
Well, the funny thing is, if you go and the rate of admission is really low.
Yes.
The 2-day ticket is 15 euros. Included is the event miniature, which usually goes for 3 euros extra.
See? That's how you encourage a younger fucking generation. It's like, to be fair, it's like your Bundesliga. You know, if people can actually get in to see a fucking match, they're more likely to stick with it.
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite tales. If it just for the models.
Oh, Galactica. Wow.
Galactica, a silent Star Destroyer,
Hey, Adrian.
Imperial Star Destroyer, and 2 times SDF-1. One in green, one to the left. Macros. And there's the what's it called again? Bloody hell.
Don't know who you
Captain
point at.
Harlock.
Yeah, I don't know who he is.
Animated
Yeah.
space
Animated
pirate.
space pirates. Animated Bucky O'Hare and the Righteous Indignation.
Similar but different.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the only animated space pirate I know.
And a lot of micro art. Micro art
Yeah.
every year showing
Own it,
off there.
own it, own it, own it, own it, own it, own it,
Yeah.
own it, 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 own it.
Just say you own every one of them.
I do own them all because I was worried that they were losing the license when things were fucking extensively out of stock for a long time across various fucking platforms. So I just bought everything that I could. Can't be too careful.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. UKGE, I mean, yeah. You're probably, it's really annoying because Salute's easier because it's only a one-dayer, but because it's in London, where the Londons live, it's so much more expensive to get to and stay at. Whereas Birmingham, you can get there easier. It's moderately cheaper to stay there, but then the show is far more expensive. It's very annoying. They just need to flip those.
Yeah, and that's what I got for myself.
Apparently they were changing from metal to resin, Jill, but they never said that anywhere. And it was even out of stock on the Discworld official website, and they removed things. So at that point, I just panic bought everything. Everything I hadn't already bought.
The emphasis here is on panic.
Yeah, well, I don't want them to go away like the Star Wars figures and stuff that I'd started collecting from night models, and then they all fucking vanished.
Yeah, and this is my
Are they
my
painted?
loot.
Get you the fuck out of here, Zorg. Now, in my defense, because they're really fucking close, actually. There's a box of them down there and another box of them there. I did go through them all recently and condense them down out of the blister packs into less blister packs. So there's one that just contains all of the gods now. That sort of thing. So I could throw a load of packaging away.
I must admit that the sprue in front of my haul was a freebie.
Yes.
So
what is that? It's
bolt action French from
I was
War
going to say,
Games.
yeah.
I pestered the poor person that
weapons.
manned the stand about why don't you have the lovely book here now to sell me? Because they don't.
Well, it's not actually Warlord that sell it.
Yeah, that's what he told me, and then I bitched and moaned a bit more, and then he gave me a small little bag with that sprue, some bases, a brush, and a paint.
Please fuck off now.
Yeah,
Is that what he said? Please fuck off. It's not our company.
He used different words
we
and
don't
more
make it.
gestures.
Why won't you fuck off?
Oh, James, I didn't ask for his name, but I'm guessing
Harry Badger or Rabid Stout or something is the company that actually produces it. Warlord just ship it.
Yeah, I'm very. It was a German guy manning the stand, so I don't know if that's a regular Warlord employee or just somebody who sells more of it.
Tabletop Scotland's going to be in Ingliston next to Edinburgh Airport. Ooh.
I'm guessing not, James, because I imagine
they need German speakers.
Yeah,
just to make life easier.
That's one thing, and if they're shipping stock and personnel, that's going to be expensive because Brexit.
Yep. Hilarious,
so I got myself a.
I don't know why you all complain about Brexit all the time. All I hear is Europeans complaining about Brexit, people in Britain complaining about Brexit. I've seen no difference here in Northern Ireland. I don't know wherever the fuck I want. It's all fine.
Yeah, so I got myself the Discworld Hog Death and the Susan Stowe Heated from Hogfather. And the tiny little metal miniatures to the right, those are two from Aladdin's line that is now defunct.
Defunct lines.
Sadly, it's not
Modular
the
dungeon
legally distinct
add-ons.
Conan, but that one was sold out already.
I have everything. Oh yeah, I think he does. I don't know what's going on with. Well, the outbuildings are still going. I don't know what's happening with the strange cottage that at one point he was attempting to rewire himself. Hopefully, he's just knocked that down.
So you're saying Warren is going to electrocute himself?
Oh fuck yeah! It's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time. I think it was whenever he was going, I'll read you all this, and then somebody like Andy, maybe, who's an engineer, went, "Yeah, I do a lot of this for a living, and I wouldn't do that. I'd still phone a Spark. So you should probably always, certainly, definitely phone a Spark." So it's good. It's good times.
Yeah, that was my day at Tactica. Sadly,
It's good though. Good fun.
Yeah, it was
Plenty games.
interesting. And the weirdest
Like any
thing
people?
about it is the little animated version of a movie I made with the pictures is now my 7th most viewed video of all time.
Wow, that's people love the Hamburgs
Apparently,
and the tactics.
for some reason beyond me. Next year, if I go again, and I'm trying to, I'll need to think about how to get my stuff with me without having a large backpack, because that's really not a viable option. It's just too crammed.
What about those like emo pants, like the emus wear, that are just covered in pockets, like hundreds of pockets?
You want me getting killed, don't you?
Yeah, but you'd have so many pockets to put things in.
Yeah, well, I will have no use for those if I'm dead.
What are those? Oh, a tartan trolley. Yes. That's why Ireland had the big power cut in. Ireland has never big. The biggest power cut we had was whenever 2 storms came through within 3 days of each other.
And I think Warren was the one who said, we had power. Everybody else was dead. We had power.
Yeah, he said that. I never lost power in this house at all. You only really got fucked if you're down the wild Atlantic way. Wars. Is wars in the collective noun for an amount of storms? We had a warzone of storms.
It's a war.
A warzone of storms. Then everything went dark.
Or even darker.
It's good times.
Speaking of dark, we're a bit about over our tightly scripted 30
Oh,
minutes.
so we are.
Yes.
That's probably because we're into extra time in the Blackburn Newcastle match, so I wasn't really paying attention there. It's 1-1 still, but they've just started the second half of extra time. So
Okay.
tightly scripted. You should probably all go and do things. I need to have
Yes.
a wee.
Have a wee, have a wank, and go to bed. See you lot next time, potentially next week, for 199th episode.
Wow.
Have fun. Bye.
Tatty bye.